All right, so I'm going to demonstrate how to prepare your file for laser cutting. You should have a cube which may have some imperfections that need to be cleared up to prepare for laser cutting. Any duplicate lines, duplicate surfaces, misalignments like these ones, or gaps in between layers are going to create a problem with laser cutting. So I will show you first how to clean it up a little bit, and then how to use the contour command to create the layers that we need to stack. So it's going to be kind of a laminating approach, layer over layer over layer over layer. Laser cutter will do that cutting for you, and all you have to do is glue those multiple layers together to produce your model. So first things first, cleaning it up. I don't want to have any external curves in my file. I just want to have those surfaces or poly surfaces. So to clean it up quickly, if you don't have or have messy layers here, you can use the selection filter command, selection filter, and I'm going to only use curves. So as I'm filtering the curves, so when I make a selection now, I can only select curves. I've blocked everything else, all right? So this is a quick way to select the curves and technically delete them, right? So I select and delete. This is the fastest way to clean your curves. Now I want to make sure that I enable everything else again, otherwise I will not be able to select anything. All right, so this is the selection filter. I use this to clean up, get rid of any curves. So I only have surfaces in my file. I also want to clean up my layers. Okay, so I can create a new layer, call it 3D cube. Make sure that I place everything in that single layer. I can change the layer from here. Okay, so all my geometry is still here. I have other things in the file that I want to preserve, but in your case, you should delete everything else and just have one layer called 3D cube.
I have a question. So if we for the selection filter, if we only select curves to show the curves, will it not like show when we're working on the stuff like the points and everything here? Will it not show while we're working on it?
It does not change the visibility. You should still be able to see everything, but you will not be able to select it. So if your filters, if you deselect, for example, surfaces, you will still see them, but you will not be able to select them.
Oh, okay, understood.
All right, got it. Okay, good. So back to editing and refining your model. If there are still gaps here or duplicate surfaces, for example, here, this surface appears twice. I want to make sure I delete what I don't need. If your model is grouped, right? If it happens to be the case that your model is a single group, I want you to ungroup it, all right? So ungroup is the opposite of grouping, so you're able to select piece by piece. And ungroup, so I'm able to select little by little and correct it. So in this case, I want to select these pieces here, use the move command, move it from here to there, micro adjustment, but very, very, very important. So I have a clean edge. Now I need to select both of these and move them. Again, move from here to here. So I have a clean edge. All right, so this is very, very important step. These are joined, I think. I'm not able to ungroup them. So that may give me some trouble If this is a case, you may have to redo that geometry, but it looks like it's touching each other. Okay, there may be a little bit of overlap. If this is the case, I have to either redo it or fix it after I create my contours. So I'm done cleaning up with some imperfection here, which I will have to address, but everything else looks clean, aligned, no gaps, no superimposition, no duplicate geometry. So now I'm ready to contour. So before I do that, I want to adjust the scale of the project, because remember, we scaled it up to be 48 feet. So it's real life dimensions. At 1/8 inch scale, it is really 6 inches. So I'm trying to make it back to 1/8 of an inch so we can produce a cube that is 6 by 6 by 6. It's like a scaled down version of your original. So I want to select from a point where I can scale properly, where I have a full length. If I don't see any clear line through, I can create one that is 48 feet. So I can just snap on something, okay? I need to be able to grab the entire object and scale it down. So I'm creating an axis line only as a reference, just to be able to snap on it and reduce the scale. So now I have this reference line. I know this is 48 feet, and now I have to select everything and scale it down to be only 6 inches for our physical model. It's 1/8 inch scale, so just 6 inches. I select the entire 48 feet and scale it down to be just 6 inches, tiny. To confirm, I take the distance, measure from here to here. It is 6 inches. So that is the dimension that you need for your laser cutting. Remember, the cork that you bought is a 6 by 6 inch square. If you have bought the corrugated cardboard, you bought a big sheet of 30 by 40, which will have to be cut down in small 6 by 6, 6 by 6, 6 by 6 pieces. So now I'm ready to contour. I will still keep this vertical line as a reference line. I do contour command. It says, what objects do you want to contour? I want to contour my entire cube. Hit enter when done. Where is the base point, the base of your plane? This is at the very, very bottom of your project. That's why I'm using this reference line. I know this is the bottom, the very, very bottom. What direction? Here you can choose. You can run it either up or horizontal, either horizontal or vertical. Either way, it's your choice. If I run it horizontal, it's going to cut vertical planes, which means that you will have to laminate them, glue them together, those vertical planes like that. If you cut it horizontal, you have to glue them horizontally. So for now, I'm going to run it this direction. The distance between the contours is the thickness of your material, is a 1/4 inch. If you buy corrugated cardboard, it comes at a 3/16 thickness, which is a little less than 1/4, but we will assume that it is 1/4 for now. It's because with the glue and everything, it will come to 1/4. So please use 1/4 spacing between contours. And this is what it comes out to. I can move this over, and these are my 1/4 inch contours. So now I have to select one by one and place it flat in preparation for laser cutting. I will do one more thing. I will do it one more time. This time I will also use the cube, so I have a reference. Otherwise, it may be completely, we may lose our outline, and we need that for laser cutting. So I'll step back. I'll do it one more time, but this time I'll use the cube from here, the corner here, and I make it 6 by 6 by 6. This is feet, sorry. I can change my units. Keep it in inches. I don't want to scale anything. I'm going to confirm the dimension one more time. So it messed it up. I'll have to scale up again. Scale from here to here. It should be 6 inches. So my units are in inches. Say OK. The distance is 6 inches. I'm OK. Now I can create a cube. Do 6 by 6 by 6. I'm going to move it to be in it. So this is curious because there are certain objects that are exceeding beyond the 6 by 6 cube. That should not be the case. So the file that I'm using has a lot of inconsistencies. It is best if you fix this before you contour anything. So in this case, I'm going to move these pieces in perpendicular and also move the pieces that exceed, move them in. It's a good check, actually. Nothing should exceed beyond the cube. If accidentally it's happening, make sure to check all six faces. Nothing should exceed the cube. All right, so now I have my original geometry within the cube, and I'm going to apply the contour command. The base is at the very, very bottom. So select the object.
The recording is going to be on Miro.
Sorry?
The recording will be on Miro, so go back to it.
Yes, I will, not on Miro, on OpenLab. I can also put it on Miro, that's not a problem.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I will repeat a couple of things here. So select the objects for contour. I selected them. Contour the base, contour plane base point is at the very bottom. What is the direction? You can choose either horizontal or vertical as you wish. Either way is fine. I just chose horizontal now. What's the distance between contours? Again, it's 1/4 inch. This is the thickness of the material that you're going to laser cut. And I'm going to run it that way. I move this over. I can also put them in a different layer called curves, just to make sure they don't get mixed up. Okay, so now I have, in your file, you should have one layer called curves and one layer called cube. This also should be part of it. Now, you probably want to work from top view to be able to pull these contours apart. Okay, so I'm taking this pattern apart. I can move this over a little bit, and I have to lay it flat. Each one of them lay flat on the ground, and as I prepare for laser cutting. So I'm separating these out and preparing the file. There should be about 24 of them. I don't have to do all of them, but you will get the idea. So now I flip them down. Make sure that you do them in the right direction. Same direction for all of them. These are the planes here. Okay, I just hit here and I turn them flat down. So basically for the laser cutter, you're gonna have a series of planes like that, right? Which is your templates for laser cutting. They're side by side. Okay, so all I'm doing is I select, rotate to lay it flat on the ground, and I place them side by side. For those of you who get the corrugated cardboard, you're going to buy a 30 by 40 corrugated sheet, a big sheet. Those of you who got the cork, you're going to get those 6 by 6 squares. So the laser cutter will cut exactly that on your cork, right? The cork is just 6 by 6. For those of you who have the 30 by 40, you have to create a rectangle here that is 40 by 30 inches, right? So I'm gonna confirm that for you here. 3'4" is 40 by 30. This is how big your corrugated cardboard piece is going to be, right? So I'm going to have to fit all these pieces in my corrugated cardboard, and they fit. You can fit 6 at a time. Have 4 rows of 6 pieces at a time. So here I'm going to make the 6th one flat on the ground and fit it in the 30 by 40, right? So I will keep going and have eventually 24 6 by 6. Okay, so the layers are here. I separate them and I work between perspective and top view to be able to see what I'm doing. I move this over a little bit. And I separate out those planes. Now, for those of you who work with cork, you bought 2 6-packs. So you only have 12 layers. You don't have 24, you have 12 to cut. So keep that in mind. You can select the first 12 this way or that way, whichever you like. So basically you're producing half the model if you bought cork. Any questions so far?
No questions.
Okay, I will keep going.
Actually, I'm a bit confused on so how would I make this, because with the other contour command, I don't remember the whole block being like filled out as we separated the pieces. So that step kind of got me confused, like when.
What do you mean the block be filled out? What do you mean? So we were running the contours horizontally and we were getting these outlines, correct?
Yep.
What do you mean? Jeff, can you say that one more time, please?
So when after you do the contour command, I saw like how the block like kind of filled in these spaces that we created. Is that just like when we're using the contour command, or?
No, when you use the contour command, it does not fill in the blank spaces. No, it just cuts a series of layers for you, depending on the direction that you choose. It doesn't fill in the voids.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
So do you think you could just help me run over the command really quick? Because I don't know if I might
Sure.
a little
Let
bit.
me pause the